Hello everyone, welcome to another video of FFL 24/7. Today's video is going to be another update for Bitcoin cryptocurrency because I am very excited to share two important details for you. So as you guys have also noticed in the thumbnail what I have been pointing out. So the chart you guys are looking at is the Bitcoin chart. So this was apparently the peak that we saw in around November 2021. And since then, we have seen a huge slump in the price of Bitcoin that happened all the way down to 16,500 something. So that is a big slump, but there is apparently some very positive developments happening in the crypto industry. Backing up the news, there are also some very positive developments happening in the charts as well for us to see, and I think there are some pretty clear signs that Bitcoin might be heading towards a very important and critical level of Fibonacci. Getting into the details, so I quickly want to remind you that we started tracking Bitcoin chart when we were around the 25k mark, and since then we have been tracking very nicely on this uptrend line. We predicted that this 30k level is going to be a huge and critical resistance for Bitcoin to break, which we already have broken comprehensively with some decent volume coming in. So the reason that I think we might be heading towards this very critical 0.382 Fibonacci level is, which is almost around the 44k mark, is if we zoom out a little bit and move ourselves to the weekly chart. So if you guys notice, we are forming a very nice and beautiful cup and handle pattern. Cup and handle pattern, if you guys don't know about it, so these are like bullish formations that happen in the charts for technical analysis, and historically these kind of patterns have resulted into bullish breakouts, so which we are also already seeing in Bitcoin. So if you guys notice that we have very nicely started to break out of this cup and handle pattern, and this is like a huge candle. So we haven't seen this kind of candle in the recent history of Bitcoin from the crash that we saw, and also backing up with the very nice volume coming in. So if this cup and handle pattern has to fully break out in the bullish direction, so what happens is the size of this cup is going to happen in the opposite direction. So that puts us around the same level of this very critical level where the Fibonacci level 0.382 is already sitting, that is around the 44k mark. So this is all just a line, so you can pretty much think that all stars are kind of aligning up and pushing us towards this direction. The second reason, let's move back to the daily chart. So the second reason, if you guys see, so I also pointed this out in my previous video when we started to break out on this very first candle. So this is what I already predicted in my last couple of analysis for Bitcoin, that we might be going a little bit sideways from this breakout a couple of candles, and the reason is because they might be trying to form a bullish flag pattern, which is kind of looking very clear from this analysis. So flag patterns are also bullish or bearish in direction, so wherever the flag is. So this is forming like a standing flag pattern, which should be pointing into the bullish direction if it fully breaks out. And again, the size of this flag is going to be, if this is to break out, the size of this flag is going to happen in the opposite direction. So that also puts us to around this very critical Fibonacci level that we have been tracking, and it puts us around the same level, that is 44k for Bitcoin mark. So this is one of the second reason that I think Bitcoin might be heading towards that critical value, and that's just not it. This is all just not the technical analysis. So this is all just not the charts happening and stars aligning up. So they are going to make reasons for this move. What's happening in the market is there's also some positive news coming in for Bitcoin. If you guys have been tracking, BlackRock is a big financial institution, and they have been trying very hard to get a Bitcoin ETF approved. So that is why I keep saying that stars are aligning up, and they're obviously going to use the news as a basis of this push and the Bitcoin pump coming into the store. So the ETF trades at so this article that is saying that ETF trades at $1.5 billion as GPTC discount echoes 69k price. So this is kind of like a pump and dump price. I don't think we are heading to 69k yet. We first need to break the 44k level for Bitcoin mark. So first I think we need to get to 44k, and then we will start discussing if we are supposed to get to the 69k level. So this is just pump and dump article that I am seeing. there's another article that people have started making predictions that once the ETF is approved, how far the Bitcoin price is gonna go up. So what I am thinking for now, as of now, so there is a possibility that up to the ETF approval, they might build up the hype and push Bitcoin to the 44K level. And eventually, if they want to execute the full-fledged bull run for Bitcoin, they might just use the successful news that ETF getting approved at this level to break out of this very, very strong resistance that is going to be at this mark. Again, at the 44K level. So what I am seeing, they might be playing the news hype to push the Bitcoin price all the way to 44K level, and there they will decide that if the ETF is rejected, the Bitcoin is gonna go and retest these levels down again, which we will track in the future if that happens. And again, if the ETF is approved and the Bitcoin is around this 44K level, they might use the news to break out of this very heavy resistance at 44K, and that might push Bitcoin to the next level that the people are pumping to 69K levels and whatnot. What I have been tracking is I am tracking a very nice cup and handle pattern that is forming on the weekly chart of Bitcoin, and we have already started to break out of it. So apparently what it's looking like is this breakout from this cup and handle pattern might be pushing us towards the 44K level. And that's another thing that is happening in the chart that might back up this push is on the daily chart, this flag pattern that we have started to form. That can also lead us towards the 44K level mark if this flag pattern, bullish flag pattern, has to break out. And again, we have some also positive development in the news coming up as well for the ETF approval, that there is a lot of hype going on in the media. So obviously these guys will use the news to hype up and bring more attention back to Bitcoin and the retail frenzy coming into the crypto industry, and the meme coins just pumping right and left. So that might start to happen again towards end of the year. So this will be very interesting to see, viewers. So that was about the quick analysis that I wanted to get in touch with you guys, how Bitcoin might be heading towards the 44K mark. If you did like the video, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and we can all track Bitcoin nicely together in the next future coming few weeks.